All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today, we are talking about something I think we're all pretty familiar with.
Oh, yeah.
Email.
Email security.
Security, exactly. And we are basing this on a
Really cool
training video.
cybersecurity awareness training video by Rhino.
I learned a lot watching it.
Yeah, they're the experts.
Really good stuff.
Yeah.
And, email is something we use every single day.
Multiple times a day, probably.
So many times a day.
Yeah.
So many times a day.
Yeah.
And we might think we know it all, but
You never know it all.
I definitely learned some things from this video.
Oh, for sure. Me too.
I was pretty surprised by some of the stats, actually.
Yeah, like 91%.
Of cyber attacks start.
With a phishing email.
That's crazy.
That's wild, right?
It's a huge number.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show why email security is so important.
Absolutely.
Because, we're sending all kinds of sensitive stuff.
All kinds of...
Through email,
Like what?
personal information, financial details, business communications.
Very important.
It's scary to think about what could happen if that fell into the wrong hands.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have data theft,
Yep.
financial loss,
Definitely.
reputational damage,
Absolutely.
all kinds of bad stuff.
Yeah, so let's get into some of these best practices.
Okay, let's start with the basics, strong passwords.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we hear this all the time.
You got to reiterate it because
Gotta reiterate it.
people aren't doing it.
People are not doing it. And Rhino actually had some interesting advice about this.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
So we all know, you need at least 12 characters.
Uppercase, lowercase, number, symbols.
Exactly, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
But they're actually recommending using passphrases,
Passphrases.
which I thought was pretty cool.
What's a passphrase?
So it's basically, you take 4 random words
Okay.
and you string them together.
Okay.
And it actually ends up being stronger than that jumble of characters that we're always trying to come up with.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And how do you remember these random 4 words?
Well, that's where a password manager comes in.
Oh, yeah. Password managers are great.
Essential.
Super helpful.
Not just for storing your passwords, but also for generating those random passphrases.
Right.
And a lot of them have security audits built in.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they can flag any weak or reused passwords.
Across all your accounts.
Yes.
That's really helpful.
And some of them can even monitor the dark web for your leaked credentials.
That's crazy.
So that's next level protection.
Yeah, I need to get one of those.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we talked about passwords now. Let's get to something
It's a little more juicy.
a little scary.
Phishing emails.
These are getting so sophisticated.
So sophisticated.
I can't even tell sometimes.
Well,
Rhino showed some examples in the video, and they weren't just mimicking logos anymore. They were actually using psychological tricks.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Okay, so playing on your fear of missing out or exploiting your trust in authority figures.
Oh, making you think it's from your boss.
Exactly, or your bank, or the IRS.
That's so scary.
It's scary, right? And they create the sense of urgency.
Oh, yeah.
And they use really personalized language, they know something about you.
Right.
And it's all designed to bypass our logical filters.
It's like social engineering.
It is social engineering.
Wow.
And it works.
It's scary how effective it is.
It is because it's preying on our natural tendencies to trust people and to want to be helpful.
So what can we do about it?
Well, the key takeaway here is stop,
Duck.
think,
And verify.
verify, always. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Stop, think, verify.
If something feels off.
Even a little bit.
Yeah.
It's worth checking.
Double check, triple check.
Yeah. Yeah. Use a different channel.
Yeah,
Call the person, email them at a different address, whatever you got to do.
exactly. Make sure it's legit.
Okay. So moving on to another topic.
Okay.
2-factor authentication.
2FA.
Everyone's heard of
We
it.
all know it's important.
But do you know why?
That's what Rhino got into.
Oh, yeah.
They actually talked about the different types of 2FA.
Oh, that's interesting because I didn't realize there are different types.
Yeah, so the most common one is SMS codes.
Right. You get a text message with a code.
Right. But those actually have some vulnerabilities.
Really?
Yeah, so app-based authenticators are more secure,
Oh.
like Google Authenticator or Authy.
I've heard of those.
Yeah, they use time-based codes,
Okay.
so they're constantly changing.
So that's harder to hack.
Exactly. And then there are also hardware tokens.
Like a physical key.
You plug it into your computer,
Huh.
and that's even more secure.
Wow.
And then there's biometrics.
Oh, yeah, like fingerprint scanning.
Yeah, or facial recognition.
That's pretty cool.
So it's like adding another layer of complexity.
Right. So the hackers have to work even harder.
Exactly.
Wow. There's so many options.
I know, it's pretty cool, right? All right, so another topic that Rhino covered was encryption.
Encryption.
This one always seems a little mysterious to me.
I know it sounds complicated, but it's actually pretty simple.
So how does it work?
So imagine you're writing a letter,
Okay.
and you write it in code.
Right.
So only the person with the decoding ring can read it.
Okay.
That's basically what email encryption is.
So you're scrambling the content.
Exactly.
Fine.
So if anyone intercepts it, they just see gibberish.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And a lot of email providers have encryption built in now.
So it's super easy to use.
Yeah, you don't have to be a tech expert to protect your sensitive messages.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So no more excuses for sending your bank details in plain text.
definitely not.
Another thing that Rhino really hammered home was the importance of software updates.
Oh, yeah, those are crucial.
Why are those so important?
Think of it like patching holes in your fence.
Yeah.
So hackers are constantly looking for vulnerabilities in software,
Right.
and updates contain fixes for those security gaps.
So it's like they're plugging up those holes.
Exactly. So if
Okay.
you ignore updates, it's like leaving your front door wide open.
That's a good analogy.
Thanks. And the good news is you can usually set these to automatic so you don't have to think about it.
Let's set it and forget it.
Exactly.
I love it.
Security made easy.
Okay, so confession time. I'm totally guilty of using public Wi-Fi,
Oh, yeah.
but Rhino made it clear that that's a big no-no.
It's not ideal.
Yeah. Why is that?
So public Wi-Fi networks are generally not very secure.
Okay.
It's really easy for hackers to intercept data on these networks.
So they could see everything I'm doing?
Potentially.
Oh, no.
So what you want to use is a VPN.
A VPN.
Yeah, it stands for Virtual Private Network.
Okay, what does that do?
It creates a secure, encrypted tunnel for your data.
Like a secret passageway?
Yeah, exactly. So it makes it much harder for hackers to snoop on your online activity.
So VPN on stress off.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good advice.
Yeah, I always use a VPN when I'm on public Wi-Fi.
Smart.
You never know who's watching. All right, so let's talk about email attachments.
Oh, yes.
These can be tricky.
Because we all open them without thinking sometimes.
We do. It's like a reflex.
Yeah, I know, but we got to be careful
We do.
because you never know what you're going to get.
It's like opening a mystery box.
It could be a virus
Or malware.
or a phishing attack.
Exactly.
So what should we do?
All right, so rule number 1, always scan attachments with antivirus software before opening them.
Okay, that makes sense.
Rule number 2, only open attachments from trusted sources.
Good advice.
And rule number 3, if you weren't expecting an attachment, even from someone you know, double check with them before opening it.
Yeah, that's so smart.
It could be a cleverly disguised phishing attack.
Right, because hackers can spoof email addresses.
They can make it look like it's coming from someone you know.
So just be extra cautious.
Better safe than sorry.
Okay.
It's like it.
All right, so one last thing that Rhino mentioned that I thought was really important.
Oh, what's that?
Reviewing your email security settings.
A lot of people set these up and then they forget about them.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
But it's really important to check them periodically.
What should we be looking for?
So think of it as a security audit of your email account.
Okay.
Are your security questions strong and unique?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, a lot of people use really common answers that are easy to guess.
Right.
So make sure your answers are hard to guess and don't use the same ones for multiple accounts.
Good advice.
And then check your backup email address. Is that one secure?
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Because if someone gets into your main account, they could use that backup address to reset your password.
Right.
And then what about your recovery methods?
Recovery methods.
Yeah, like if you forget your password, how do you get back into your account?
Oh, right.
A lot of people use their phone number or a security question,
Right.
but those can be vulnerable to social engineering attacks.
So what are some more secure options?
Well, you could use a physical security key.
Like the one we talked about earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Or you could use an app-based authenticator.
Okay.
So just make sure your recovery methods are strong and secure.
So even if you're doing everything else right,
Yeah.
if you have a weak security question.
That could be the weak link in your chain.
Exactly.
So don't overlook those settings.
Great advice.
Thanks.
All right, so just to kind of wrap things up,
Yeah.
Rhino really drilled home the importance of staying informed and training ourselves to be vigilant.
Yeah, it's an ongoing process.
Right.
The threat landscape is constantly evolving.
So we got to stay ahead of the curve.
Exactly. So regularly review your security settings, keep your software updated, and stay informed about the latest phishing techniques.
So many things to do.
It's like a mental workout.
For our cybersecurity muscle.
Exactly.
Like that.
You got to stay in shape.
We got to stay sharp.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, and speaking of training,
Oh, yeah.
Rhino introduced me to this concept of phishing simulations,
Phishing simulations.
which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, it's a brilliant idea.
So basically they send fake phishing emails to employees
Yeah.
to see who takes the bait.
To test their awareness. See if
Exactly.
they can spot the signs of a phishing attack.
And it's a safe environment.
Yeah, exactly. It's a controlled environment, so there's no real risk.
But it's a good way to learn.
Yeah, it's like a fire drill.
For your inbox.
Exactly. You got to practice so you're prepared for the real thing.
Okay, so I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
Yeah, a lot of great tips.
I feel like I learned a lot.
Me too.
And I hope our listeners did too.
Yeah, hopefully everyone's feeling a little more secure about their email now.
So just to recap,
Yeah,
secure email isn't about being paranoid.
it's not about living in fear.
It's about being informed
Right.
and taking simple, practical steps to protect ourselves.
Exactly.
And we've covered some really powerful strategies today,
We did.
from password management to different types of 2FA
Right.
and the importance of regular updates,
Absolutely.
all that good stuff. But, thinking about all of this,
Yeah.
it makes me wonder,
What's that?
what would you do if you received a suspicious email,
Hmm.
even from someone you trust?
That's a good question.
Would you know how to verify its legitimacy?
Yeah, that's something we all need to think about.
Because even the most cautious among us
Can be fooled.
Exactly.
Those phishing attacks are getting really good.
So stay vigilant,
Absolutely.
stay curious,
Yeah.
and never stop learning.
Email security is a journey.
Not a destination.
Well said.
Thank you.
All right, folks, that's it for our deep dive on email security.
We hope you enjoyed it.
If you did, be sure to like and subscribe.
And leave a comment below with your own email security tips or stories.
Yeah, we love hearing from you.
Until next time.
Stay safe out there.
Bye.